Hello Virgo, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to those of you who have been here before, and welcome to those of you who've come across to find out what it's all about. 2 seconds before I forget, I haven't put these behind on the, which I like to do, so I'm just going to put them there. Okay, that feels better. Right, so where was I? Virgo. Reading today for you Virgos, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Virgo. If you don't know where those placements are, Virgo, there is going to be a free natal link in the description box down below so that you can go and check that out for yourselves, because it always helps to have an understanding of what's happening astrologically with the skies above, as well as with the readings. It gives you a bigger picture. It means that you can check out your moon, your rising, and particularly I would recommend your Venus sign for this reading, because this is a love reading for you Virgos, and it will just give you more insight if you have extra readings where you can, maybe your message will be there as well, as rather than in this particular reading. But with that being said, this is also a reading for as I was saying, a love reading, so it's for you and the person you have your strongest energetic connection with. I will be using 2 decks of cards, so this is your deck of cards, Leo, that I will be using. And I will also be using this deck of cards for the cross watcher. So cross watchers, just be aware if you're in a relationship with a Leo, you want to be in a relationship, or you have been in a relationship with a Leo, that this story may actually be your story that is being told here, rather than the story of the Leo that you're interested in. Also, if the story feels like the cards are the wrong way round, then just swap them over and take what resonates as and how it resonates with you. So starting the reading off today, Leo, with 2 cards that came out for you here. You have both the 4 and the 5 of Cups. So this is the overall energy of the situation that is surrounding you at this time, Virgo. I hope I'm calling you Virgo and I haven't called you Leo. I think I might have done, and if I have, I apologise. I've just finished doing the Leo reading, so I've kind of got that still in my brain a little bit here. So I will try and remember Virgo. It is Virgo that I'm reading for. So again, if you're in a relationship with a Virgo, not a Leo. So just to correct that now, because I'm pretty certain that I did say Leo, and I do apologise if I did. Although some of you may have Leo in your charts, you never know. But talking about that as well, just before I go on, cusp Leos, you will be either the 0 end of Leo coming out of the Cancer energy, or you're going to be the 29 degrees end moving into the Virgo energy as well. So I don't know why I'm saying that again. My brain is all over the place at this moment in time. So Virgos, I meant as a cusp of Virgo, you're going to be coming out of the Leo energy at 0 degrees of Leo and moving into the Virgo, checking out the Leo energy. Sorry, my brain is literally scattered everywhere. I don't know if this is you doing this to me, Virgo, or what it is, but if you're the other end of Virgo, you're going to be 29 degrees of Virgo, and you will be moving forward into the Libra energy. So I will also be putting a reading out for that as well, so you may want to check that out. For the Leo reading as well, you may want to check out, because there does seem to be a bit of a crossover going on here. Not sure what that's about. So the 4 of Cups in reverse and the 5 of Cups is saying to me, and they literally came out together, and I gave them a really good shuffle. I always kind of swish my cards around and shuffle them as well, but there's not that many of them to shuffle when it's the Cups, just the Suit of Cups cards. So first of all, with the 4 of Cups, it's an energy of, how can I put it? An energy of emptiness, I always think of with the 4 of Cups. Like something is missing, even though it feels, or it looks like from an outside point of view, that everything is wonderful in your relationship, in your world, etc. Everything looks good. and yet you yourself, which you are that person there in the middle. I'll turn it up so you can see it better, up the right way. That's you in the middle there, feeling very despondent, very down, very disheartened, very sad is what's coming through. A sense of sadness. But it's also a sense of emptiness, like I was saying, like something is missing. And when you've got the Five of Cups straight after this, literally the following on part of the story here, this is saying to me that there has been a situation where this relationship, somebody has not been completely open about something. Like they haven't completely shown who they are. With the Five of Cups, I see this energy here as this person really wants to get to know. If you see, this is Eros who's disappearing out of the scene. And we have 3 cups, sorry, not 3 cups, we have 4 cups spilt at the bottom down here. Usually it's 3, but in this deck it's 4 cups, and there's just 1 left standing, which is the one that Psyche kind of takes and reflects on. But the card itself is saying here to me that somebody has fled the scene, which reminds me of the words that I got when I was actually doing the meditation on the card earlier. I got 2 things come through really quickly. The first was changing of the guard, and the second was you're all ready for this. So I don't know what that's about. It was just changing of the guard and you're ready for this. Very quickly came through. So I don't know if this has been a very sudden occurrence or whether it feels like this has been something that you've been sitting in for a while, actually, Virgo, this energy of kind of despondency, not knowing what's the best thing to do, kind of looking for advice, maybe not necessarily feeling that it was the right advice or it's the advice that you wanted to hear even. But something changed, and I feel as though you kind of tried to get this person to open up to you, tried to get this person to express themselves to you. And this could be your energy, Virgo, this could be the other person, this could be the cross watcher, either or. But one of you has not been as completely and I don't feel, it's not like it's a dishonest energy, it's just like something that this person keeps shut away inside. And underneath on the bottom of the deck we have the Ten of Cups in reverse as well. So this is saying to me that there has been a situation where there was a really good connection here, because the Ten of Cups is happiness. It's recognition of the two becoming one. It really is for me the kind of that soulmate card, that soulmate energy. It doesn't necessarily mean it's easy energy. But somebody, there has been happiness, but somebody has kind of, with it in reverse, it feels as though this happiness is no longer part of the scenario at this time, or it's kind of, all of this has kind of disturbed it, distorted it, upset it, turned it upside down. But it does feel as though somebody, what I'm feeling is that whoever was unhappy, whoever was kind of sitting in this energy, which like I was saying could have been for a while, whichever person this was the person who's trying to get this person to open up, trying to get them to connect about their inner feelings, their life story perhaps. But there's something here that this person was just not willing to express or to share, divulge. So this person has run out. They've kind of left the scene, shall we say, is how it's coming through. Exited the stage. And the first card that we have here is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So Virgo, you're feeling in this energy, and by the way, I'm doing the Celtic cross as well before I forget. So this is the energy that you are in at this time, or you're both in at this time. This is the overall where you're coming from type of energy. So the Seven of Pentacles in reverse is saying to me that you put time and energy and effort, and you were hoping for rewards. You were hoping to see the rewards for the time that the two of you were together, for the energy that you both put into making something happen. But something has changed. Again, that expression, changing of the guards, I don't know what that's about, but something is no longer growing in the same way as it was. There is lack of growth here. The growth here has just come to a standstill. It's just like, almost like the fruit is just kind of rotting on the trees, so to speak. A feeling of it's past its best, past its sell-by date. Time to move on. And it could be because one of you just can't get beyond that point. That point of really expressing who you are, or sharing something that has been a part of your life, it feels like. So it's kind of cut off at this stage, like cutting down a tree is kind of how I'm getting it here as well. Like something that was growing and had a lot of potential, and it was really, again, from an outside point of view, it looked really healthy. It looked really, like, really nurturing and like teamwork. Like you were working really well together, and but underneath it all, there was like this sense of something didn't feel right. Something wasn't. So it was like an underlying current is how it feels. Like something that wasn't being expressed. And you do have the Ace of Swords over the top here as your challenging energy as well, Virgo. So the Ace is about truth. It is about communication. And this is the challenge here. This is the blockage. This is what's not happening. There is definitely, I feel, somebody who is not allowing themselves to, it's like they reach a certain point and then they just stop. They just cut off. It's just like, don't go there. Don't ask me about it. Don't talk about it. Don't want to discuss it. It's that kind of energy. But in your head, and what you're aware of, is the Hierophant, or the Hierophant, who's basically saying to me that there has been a big commitment here. Again, with that Ten of Cups as well, even though it's in reverse, I do feel as though there has been this situation where you were very committed. There was a strong commitment here. There was a strong belief that this was it, this would work, this was how it was always going to be. A lot of trust, a lot of faith in each other. One of you could also have been quite strongly more traditionally, shall we say, religious than the other. So they could have had like a very traditional idea of what faith is and what faith's about. It is a very traditional card, the Hierophant. A lot of people call it the Taurus card. Personally, I don't. I call it the Sagittarius card, because I see it more as religion and higher energy, higher learning. Faith in something. Faith in your commitment to each other is how it's coming through. But the energy that's moving away has been a lot of backwards and forwards, which could also have something to do with communication, because the Eight of Wands can be about messages. But this card also feels to me as though this is about kind of closing things off, in the sense of like needing to not just communicate, but like I'm seeing lots of signatures being written. So this could have something to do with tying up loose ends, is also what's coming through here. Finalising something. But there's been a lot of communication backwards and forwards about how this is going to be done. What's the best way to approach this? What's the best way for us to stay committed? It still feels like there is some kind of commitment here. It's interesting because it's kind of carrying through from the general Virgo read that I did a while back. Oh, yeah, the general read, which kind of turned into a love read. It was very confusing. There was a lot of energy involved with somebody who was still very connected to the person that they were separating from. But they were separating from that person, I felt, because that's what that person wanted. So they were doing what was best for that person, or what they thought was the best thing for that person. So whether there's a connection with that or not, but it's kind of coming through in a similar vein. Underneath it all, in the subconscious, and what you're not maybe so aware of, is maybe this is the changing of the guard, because this is about looking for fresh adventure. And maybe there is this energy, this feeling of, like, as I was saying, done, dusted, past its sell by date, time to move on, time to find something more exciting, more I'm kind of getting that you can sink your teeth into, in a way. It's kind of like, I want something that's going to inspire me, fire me up. So this could have been, actually, this could also have been like, because the Knight of Wands can be seen as a player energy, like they will explore the field, so to speak. This could be an energy of that kind of energy here. Somebody who hasn't been completely honest. And that could also be why they're running out with this Five of Cups energy as well, almost like they've been caught doing something, but they're not prepared to express it. And the Four of Cups could also have been the other person was aware of something, like they felt it on a deeper level, this emptiness, that something had changed, that there wasn't that same input into the relationship anymore. So it could be, Virgo, that you yourself have been looking for more excitement, a new sexual partner. It could be that the person that you are with, you don't feel that same energy with them anymore. so we have, moving in, the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. So the Five of Pentacles is a feeling of being left out in the cold, a feeling of not being a part of something anymore, is what's coming through. Like going from being very strongly like in this person's life, even if it was just a lot of like communication about things, backwards and forwards kind of communication, and then there's kind of like this sudden energy of realizing that that's not there anymore. In the same way, changing of the guards. I keep getting changing of the guard, and I don't know why, what that means, if it means anything to you, Virgo. But we also have the Ten of Swords here as well. So this is saying that there has been something ended, totally ended. And it also feels as though you may only just now, or as this energy moves in, because this is the future, you may suddenly kind of realize and wake up to this. Like up until now you've been in this kind of energy, which is much more fiery, doing, action orientated, kind of busyness, keeping yourself busy with things that need to be sorted out and separated, all that kind of thing, because it does feel as though this is something that has just kind of ended. Like I was saying, it has gone past its sell-by date to that point. And the Ten of Swords is kind of implying that to me. And so you are just maybe starting to now feel this kind of emptiness. Again, with that Four of Cups energy, there's an emptiness, like something's missing, like something that was in your life is no longer there. And so you're understanding the finality of it. And you're feeling it. You're really feeling it. And you may also be realizing that with this Ace of Swords over the top of the Seven of Pentacles as your challenging energy, that you do need to open communication. That you need to be honest and truthful, even if it's just with yourself here, Virgo, about how you are actually feeling. Because we have the Ten of Wands here in reverse as well. So again, 10, an ending of something. This has been heavy. This has been something that you've been carrying for some time. And you're kind of, again, I feel as though you're getting to that point where you're realizing that, you know, this is it. This can also relate to this energy here as well, this commitment energy, like determination to carry it, to struggle forward, regardless of how hard or how difficult it may have got. Like this is all the stuff, this it feels like this is the Five of Cups energy that you are carrying, that you're not prepared to communicate, or like, it's like you are going to carry it all. It's how it's coming through. It's like you're not prepared to open up. You're not prepared to talk about it. It's like it's my burden, I'm carrying it. Is how that's coming through. But we do have the Sun as your environment card, how other people are seeing this situation. Again, it's that kind of energy of people seeing it as something that it may not be. It is upright, and it is one of the best cards in the deck. It's joy, it's happiness, it's seeing things clearly, it's understanding things on a higher level. So it's kind of like if you drop, or when you drop these burdens, when you let go of all this past energy, 5 of Cups as well, energy, whether that's recent past, childhood past, anything in between, when you drop that energy, you're going to see the world in a completely different way. It's like the whole universe, your whole world is going to shift into this place of much more positive outlook. We have the Hermit in your hopes and your fears here in reverse. Hermit is said to be the Virgo energy. And for me, it's kind of going with this Ten of Wands energy as well. There's this sense of kind of like all of this is hard lessons learnt. You've been learning a lot, Virgo. You may not realise that yet, but that is part of this kind of clarity and understanding that is yet to be seen when you drop these burdens. But it is a hope and fear, so it's not an actuality with this card yet, but it could become, like, there is the potential here for you to shut down even more. Like, again, with that 5 there, running out, shutting down, not letting anybody in, just completely kind of living in your own little space, your own kind of like closed, how can I put it? I don't want to, no, it's not ostracized, although that's the word that's coming into my head. So you may be feeling that, Virgo. I don't know whether you're feeling ostracized or not, but that's the word that kind of came into my head. But there's a, yeah, this feeling of alienation. Like, again, this sense of like, I deserve to be alienated, or I want to be alienated. I don't want to interact with the world. I don't want to interact with people. I want people to stay as far away from me as possible. So there is a potential here, Virgo, for that to happen, for you to close down even further and just really withdraw. But there's also a part of you that's hoping that all of these lessons that you've been going through is going to bring out a wiser side of yourself, more knowledgeable, wiser, yeah, like an inner knowing of yourself, knowing yourself. And I feel as though it is to do with that Five of Cups energy that you keep running away from, and because you're running away from it, you're not allowing anybody else in to see either, and that's why this is happening. This sense of just not letting anybody in further. It's like there's a cut-off point. You have a cut-off point. It's like that's as far as you go, and that's as far as you get, and everything else seems to be great. So I was saying, on the outside looking in, everything else seems to be great, but when it gets to a certain point, it's like you don't go there with anybody, whether that be your nearest and dearest, your family, your friends, husband, wife, brothers, sisters. It's just not discussed. And we have, as your final outcome here, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. You have all the tens on the table here, Virgo. So we have the Ten of Wands, we have the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Ten of Swords, and we even have, with this Ten of Cups in reverse over here as well. So all the tens are out, and the tens are about endings. The tens are saying that something, for me, it's saying today that something has to change here. Something has to change. You have to realise that you've reached a point of no return. Maybe that's the changing of the guard energy as well, with no return. When it comes to not just this relationship, but the relationship with yourself, I feel, Virgo, that this is about you mastering that darkness or that shadow, whatever that shadow is that you don't want to go and look at. Because the Ten of Pentacles here in reverse also, in reverse, talks to me about kind of a loss of not just monetary wealth, but also a loss of how can I put it? A loss of your to do with value, self-value in a way, but it's like you're losing by holding on to all of this other stuff. You're losing the treasure. You're losing the treasure of your own, or the lesson or the treasure here. The treasure is in the lesson. The treasure is in the experience. But you're not seeing that because this chest is in reverse. So your kind of your focus of attention, if you like, is very much on the material world. So you may also be feeling the loss on a financial level as well, particularly if you have split up with somebody you've been together and you've both been working together and you've both been bringing money into the same house, and now you're in a situation where you are on your own, doing things for yourself, taking care of yourself. It could feel like a hardship, like that you're struggling possibly. But it also feels like a lack, like not a lack, but a loss, sorry, of wealth on another level as well. Could be to do with well-being, your health possibly, Virgo. Like stress and worry. Carrying all that is exhausting, it's tiring. So that's another thing as well with this Five of Cups that's coming through, is kind of like it's really exhausting kind of keeping this going. And that's kind of this upside down box here, this chest that is open and all of this gold is falling out. It's almost like that's the exhausting part of it in a way. I don't know how best to express what I'm feeling here. Like you're working hard. You're really kind of working hard. You're really kind of trying to keep things afloat maybe, or above water, but it feels like all of this is kind of falling out. Because of this underlying current, this underlying issue, whatever that's to do with, that you're not bringing to the surface. It almost feels like it's kind of dropping out the bottom of something. It's like you're losing more than you're gaining, is how it's probably best to express. Thank you very much for that. Losing more than you're gaining here, Virgo. And that's also within yourself as well. This isn't just talking about like environment, losing the place that you were living in, or the family that you were living with, or however it comes across, the relationship that you've been in. This is about losing more than you're gaining when it comes to you, because of this determination not to look into that shadow. And that's what you get when you get the sun. You get shadow. But it's up to you whether or not you're going to do anything about it. If you do see it, are you going to do anything about it? It's interesting because my new moon astrology tarot read that I just did the other day is actually called Do You See the Shadow? So it's a bit of a collective story at the moment as well. Because another thing about the Hermit, of course, is healing. The Hermit is also about healing, going within and healing. But if you're not willing to do that, it's like you're missing out, you're losing the gold. Is how it keeps coming through, that treasure. So we have over the top of your Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So this person may also be feeling the pinch, so to speak, here, because this is also about kind of things that were being reciprocated no longer being like reciprocated, like lack of support in a way. Yeah, it feels like a situation that was like fruitful and working well is no longer as financially stable. Well, this person could also have felt that they also put a lot more into this situation, this relationship, than they actually got out of it. That there was an imbalance here, that they were actually the one doing most of the, and it doesn't have to be financial, but they were the one putting most of the energy into trying to keep something alive. Because if you look down here, there's this little tree that is kind of growing just here. So they could have been the person that was trying to keep something growing, trying to keep something alive, but because it's in reverse, it was like almost like pointless. It was like it just wasn't even connecting with this little green plant down the bottom. So this person could also have felt that they, I've got the words flogging a dead horse come into my head. So you know, that no matter how much energy they put into this situation, it wasn't going to change, because you were not, or they were not prepared to make that difference. But it feels more like that's your energy, Virgo. I could be wrong. If I am, just swap it over however it resonates. And this person also has the sun come out for them, but the sun has come out in reverse, which I see as a kind of sense of setting, like the sun was setting on this commitment, that there, one of you may well have been more committed than the other towards the end of something. One of you may have been possibly trying to keep something going. Again, with this little green branch or tree down there. But it really does feel as though the sun was just kind of setting on this situation. This marriage, this commitment, this relationship, whatever it was. It was long term. It does feel as though it was long term. And it does feel with this Ace of Swords here as well that this could have been like divorce. So it was more of a marriage than it was just a relationship. When I say just a relationship, I mean there wasn't the kind of official side to it in that sense. Whereas it feels as though this was much more an official thing, that it was a commitment for something that was very traditional. But this person obviously realised on some level, or felt, and I feel that it's kind of connecting for me with this Four of Cups here as well, that they almost felt like the sun going down, that emptiness that you get sometimes when the sun's gone. It goes from being warm and cozy to sudden like coldness. That's kind of how it's feeling for me here. This person kind of felt that they'd been in that energy for some time. They could feel that kind of sun setting on their life in a way. And so they had to do something about it. Or you did, Virgo. But there's definitely, with all these tens here, there's definitely endings. Big endings. So why is the Eight of Wands here? But it doesn't feel that it was particularly what's the word? What am I trying to say here? It doesn't feel like it was particularly unharmonious. Almost just like a resigned kind of feeling of like, well, that's done, that's, you know, and we'll just kind of make the best of the ending in a way. We're just kind of reminding me a bit of these new kind of divorce parties that are going around. It's kind of like, it doesn't have to be kind of, you know, all angst and stress, and at least not outwardly. It may still feel like it inwardly, but, you know, people are kind of having divorce parties now, so inviting friends, and it kind of has that kind of energy about it somehow. Although saying that, we also have the devil turn up. Oh, sorry, not the devil, death over the Eight of Wands. Sorry, the writing's small and I can't read with my glasses on, but I can't see anything without them either. So death card, which did actually turn up in the Leo reading as well, so that's interesting. In the same, not in the same place, but upside down as well, in reverse, for the same person, as in the cross-watcher energy. So definitely something final, something like really kind of being ended. And I feel as though this person, the cross-watcher, feels like the cross-watcher to me, brought this in. And there it was, there kind of finality of all of this. And it has been a deep transformational process for them, because death always is. It's never something that just kind of happens overnight, in the sense of you know, you just like going from being with somebody to just suddenly leaving them, although I suppose that does happen. But I think that, you know, on the whole, there's a process that people go through to get to that point of like, you know, it's time to leave this or move on from this, or even if people aren't aware of that process within somebody else, which could also be this Five of Cups energy as well. because I do feel as though that's the kind of underlying issue here. And it could have been with this Eight of Wands as well, that this person really did try, Virgo, to kind of get some feedback here, some understanding. But then with that Death card there, it's just like, again, with that sun going down, it's a similar energy for me. It's just like the sun is setting. Things are changing, things are dying, things are... Maybe again, this is that kind of changing of the guards energy. And are you all ready for this? I don't know what that is. But the sun and the Death card are both major energies here. And you also do have this sun energy as well. So, big changes. Big changes that could have caused some shock waves is also what I'm seeing here. With this sun in reverse as well, it kind of feels like these shock waves, this rays here kind of going out as kind of shock waves to people who are looking in on it, not expecting it at all, not seeing the truth of it. And not really realising how far it had gone, like how deep the no return point was. So we have the Tower, yeah, the Tower over the top of your, this I feel is what caused this to happen. As I was saying, this is a player energy. This is a let's explore the field energy. So again, Virgo, I feel that this could well be your energy rather than the cross-watcher energy. But it was a complete Tower moment. Whatever happened here completely brought it all down. Again, another major arcana card. So whoever this person is that you have had this connection with, Virgo, I feel on some level that this has had more of an effect on them than it has on you, and they have reacted to it more instantaneously, shall we say, than you have. Like even now you may not still not be, and I feel that this is what this energy is about for you here, Virgo, that it hasn't hit you yet. The kind of completeness, the finality, the change, the changing energy, the dynamic that's changing. But I feel as though this Tower moment was just, it was like, that was it. And sometimes we have to do something to do this, to bring something to an end. Something has to happen. Somebody has to do something that may be out of character, which is possibly why the Tower came in, why it was unexpected. But sometimes when something has reached its past its sell-by date, and people are still kind of hanging in there and committed to something, but they're not happy. They're not happy within themselves. Something will eventually make that person on a deep subconscious level do something that is going to create a change, because a change has to happen. And that's what I feel happened here. That you could no longer live in that almost like somebody else's ideal of something. Like trying to live up to other people's ideals is how I'm seeing this tower as well. Like trying to conform or be something for other people. And there was a need to break out of that. To break free from that. So whatever happened here was like a catalyst that kind of set off this whole kind of domino effect in a way. This chain of events that has kind of led you to where you are now. Because it also feels as though it's kind of like just going through the motions. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles energy here, I feel, because it's with the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. And I feel it is this kind of, like things have changed, things have I'm seeing it very similar to this Five of Pentacles, literally. If I turn it up the right way, you might get to see what I mean. It's like whatever has been connected in some ways is no longer, it's like there is this complete like disconnection. Particularly when it's in reverse. And with the Queen of Pentacles here as well, it is saying to me, whoops, throwing it on the floor, sorry about that, that her energy, which was a Queen of Pentacles energy, very nurturing, very giving, very homely, and it's like that has been like closed down. This person's closing that down. They're not, and I think that's what's going to kind of come as a bit of a shock for you here, Virgo, is that this is different now. Put the Wheel of Fortune up the right way, or the wrong way, should I say. This is different. Things haven't, I feel, kind of found their place yet. With this Wheel of Fortune, like things haven't found their place, like this new way of being. So at this time, there's just like a complete like shut down of not just communication, but like it's almost like this person's just shutting you out of their life, out of their day-to-day existence, out of their, like they may talk to you about things, especially if you've got children involved in this, then they may talk to you about what concerns you and them, but if it doesn't concern you and them, then that's it. It's none of your business. None of your business at all. This person is just kind of like, no. No. This is my life. I have got to work this out. Is how it's coming through. And I feel that for you, that's quite a shock. But this is what you're feeling left out in the cold for. This person literally kind of like, that's not your business anymore. So if you're still trying to kind of be like, if you're still coming from that place, Virgo, of like this commitment, in a sense of, how can I put it? I suppose in marriage it's like death do us part in that way. It's like, well, we have been married and I did make that commitment to you. And I'm not dead yet. So even if we're not still married, I still have some obligation or some kind of connection. But this person at this time, I mean, it could change, but at this time they are definitely like, no. Don't try and be in my circle. Don't try and be in my life, in my, like, yeah, with my friends. And that could be tricky as well. So this person may decide that they are going to remove themselves from this circle of people at this time. I don't know where this one came from. The Knight of Swords has just suddenly appeared on the table as well, so I'm going to put that over the 10 of the Wands. Yeah, I just feel as though this person wants to move forward with their life. And it's almost like they're saying, well, you know, that's your burden. You chose to carry all those burdens, Virgo. You chose not to share and express with me that part of your life that you kind of cut me out of or kept me out of or didn't include me in, didn't share with me. So, you know, now I'm just going to move on. I'm moving on and I'm moving on fast. And I do feel as though this person may well kind of try to just disappear out of, like I was saying, the kind of the whole dynamic of your close friends as well, like the people that you are friends with together. Like they're going to branch out and find new energies, new people, tribe, family kind of energy that isn't part of your life as well. So I'm just going to take a quick slurp of my tea because my throat's got a bit raspy. So and I don't feel as though it's kind of vindictive or like they're trying to hurt you. I think if anything, they're just trying to kind of, with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here as well, they're kind of trying to kind of bring all their own energy back in, because they may also feel very unsure of who they are at this time, because it's all big change. And particularly with that Death card, big change. Yeah. They have the Fool card, you have the Sun card. They are moving forward. And it feels like they're moving forward in leaps and bounds. They're not looking back. This person is not looking back. But I don't feel as though they're, like I was saying, it doesn't feel like animosity towards you. It doesn't feel like it's like they want the best for you. And if your life kind of turns out to be really happy and successful, if it isn't already, then, you know, they don't want to create problems. They just want to move forward. They just want to trust where they're going next and their destination. What is the next step forward for me? Where do I go from here? It does kind of look like as well that they are kind of saying goodbye and that they've got this sense of freedom. They have this sense of freedom which they may not have had before. A new sense of freedom, a new sense of time to enjoy life as much as they can. That's interesting. I've actually just noticed this little tiny yellow glow down here, which is over the top of your sun as well. So I still feel that you are not completely out of the picture. Like, this person wants to move on and they want to get on with their own life, but it's not like a complete... like you're never going to see each other again type of energy. It's not that kind of thing. There's still, it feels like, you know, you're still kind of there. And maybe in time you will become like a supportive energy for each other. But it doesn't feel that that's the time for that to happen now or at this time. So over the top of your Hermit, we have the Lovers. So this person, I feel, really just wants to find somebody who will be open and honest and willing to share themselves with them. And there could even be somebody already kind of hanging about in the background for this person as well. And that could also be what this Fool card is about as well, taking a leap of faith into something new. It is a hope and a fear, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually happening, but it also doesn't mean that it's not there as a potential. Which again would be another reason for this person to kind of close off from you, Virgo. And finally we have the Two of Cups. So yes, I feel as though this person does have somebody coming in. Not necessarily, well, they may be in the background already. There may be somebody in the background who there is a potential relationship with. And that may also make you feel a deeper sense of loss here as well. Like that what you had, you no longer have. Maybe not with this person, but just in general. Like just this kind of sense of I had a lot more than I have now. It could be with this person as well. It could be that you are kind of like, you know, you don't recognise what you've lost until you don't have it, as they say. Something like that. And that could be a part of why this is going to make you feel that deep sense of loss. Like that you've lost something, some treasure, something that was golden. I keep getting that coming through. So let's see what the astrology cards, the outlook, the Black Moon astrology cards. What's the astrology energy that is most strongest around you at this time, Virgo, that you're dealing with, whether you're aware of it or not? For Virgo and the person Virgo has their strongest heart connection with at this time. We have Saturn, Truth, and Yod, Destiny. So Saturn, as I was saying, there is something here I feel that is buried in the past. Like Saturn is the status quo, the traditional. It's also like coming from the past in a way. It's like keeping things the same. Don't upset the apple cart. Let's keep everything as it has always been. But Truth, I would say it's more of a Jupiter thing personally, but that word in itself I feel is something, Virgo, that you haven't been completely honest with about yourself, and in not being honest with yourself about it, you've also not been honest with those closest to you as well. There's kind of something here that, because Saturn, I would say, is more kind of karmic energy. Saturn rules time. So things that happen in the past kind of cling on to us. And because of that, they also kind of bring in that same emotional place. It's like getting stuck in an emotional vortex, but it's kind of like, yeah, I suppose vortex in a way, this energy that just keeps swirling round and round. And so emotionally you just keep going, returning to that same place and experiencing the same experiences until you kind of break that link with the past. And that can also be to do with kind of like family traditions as well, and things like that. Things that we carry with us from our ancestors, the past, tradition, what's passed on to us. And the Yod of Destiny, I mean, really, it kind of speaks for itself. It is about following your destiny. It's kind of saying to me that, you know, the two are closely linked. Again, it's that sense of like, once you clear this, all this baggage that you're carrying around with you, Virgo, this will happen. The sun will shine for you. Your life will change. It will all look different. And that's kind of what this Yod energy is saying to me as well. It's like it's there, waiting in the future that is yet to come. Because as I said, Saturn rules time as well. So let's just have a quick look and see what it says. I still don't see Saturn as truth. Much more Jupiter energy for me. But anyway, so the Saturn card says that it may feel bad now, but it is going to be resolved. Okay, so if this is a time of sorrow or hopelessness, realise it's all about diligence, sticking to what you believe in and adhering to your goals. This is a period in your life that emphasises toughness and work. It's all about not giving up and following through. It can also be, because Saturn is also the father as well, so it could also be about male or female. It could be about you dealing with father issues, which could also have something to do with the Five of Cups energy there as well. If there is difficult father issues. And the Yod 48 is talking about a person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. So the ancients believed that the Yod was an area of fate in the chart and not a particularly favourable one. Also called the Eye of God or the Finger of God, the Yod is a peculiar astrological configuration in a chart. It's linked to the Hebrew alphabet. Yod or Yud is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which has mystical implications, signifying the omnipresence of God and often denoting humility, because the energy is locked in that triangular configuration, causing matters to be fated and often difficult, but not without their rewards. And Saturn is also the rewarder as well, because Saturn rewards the time and energy and effort that is put into something, particularly ourself, because it's also about mastery and mastery of the self as well, which also the Hermit energy here that I was talking about earlier, Virgo. So that's kind of what's coming through for me here, is a need for you to go within with this Hermit energy and to look deeper into those shadow aspects and to understand your part in all of this. It was all fated, it all is as it was meant to be, even though it may not feel like that at the time when we're going through anything like this. So let's see what the Lovers Oracle cards would like to say. Yeah, so Saturn will reward those who put the time and the energy and the effort into something. And that can be the self, mastery of the self. And you can only master yourself by knowing yourself, going deeper within and working with that shadow energy that blocks. So you have freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. So the only thing that's stopping you, by the sounds of things here, Virgo, is you. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself. So I'm going to finish the reading there and say thank you very much for listening. I hope that it has been of some help to you. I hope that you have got something from it. Please, if you have, could you thumbs it up for me, because that really helps to get it out into that bigger, broader YouTube world where the algorithms can get to pick it up and hopefully take it to other people's channels, and other people can get to see it and decide as and when or if they want to come back and see more of my videos that I'm putting out there. I do all the full moon and the new moon videos, both the tarot and the astrology for both of them as well. I also do all the sun signs as well, if I haven't said that already. Sorry, I've got things coming down on my phone that are kind of distracting me at the moment. So also, thank you very much to those of you who have liked my videos, and thank you very much to those of you who have subscribed. If you haven't, please could you also subscribe, as that's really going to help me to build my channel as well. And also to tap that bell as and when it will let you know when I put the videos out. And thank you very, very much to those of you who have shared my videos already. I don't say that often because I often have other things going on in my head, but thank you very much. I really do appreciate those of you who take the time to share my videos. It is greatly appreciated. And if you feel anybody else that you know is going to get any benefit from this, you feel that it might make sense to somebody that you know, then again, please feel free to share my videos. That's why they're there. So playlist, everything's on it. No times, no dates, because crap happens all the time. So people go on there and they go, oh, like, you know, that's not going to be relevant now because it happened back then, but it makes no difference. It's just like whenever things go down, things go down. So there is titles on all my videos, so if anything resonates with you, if you think that that kind of like something catches your eye and you feel drawn to it, then maybe take the time to listen to it, because it could be a message for you now as well. So that's all there as well. And I'm going to finish your video here and say thank you very much again for listening, and please take really good care of yourself at this time, Virgo, and hopefully I will see you again soon.